Tragedy struck in the lightning-fast world of Formula One on a soggy day at the Suzuka circuit. Come along as we tell the compelling tale of Jules Bianchi, the French racing sensation whose bright future took a tragic turn in a terrifying accident. This is the unsung story of a young star lost too soon, from his ascent through the ranks to the heartbreaking aftermath. Prepare yourself for the gruesome death of F1 driver Jules Bianchi, a tale of victory, tragedy, and the lasting legacy he left behind in the sport. French racing driver Jules Lucien André Bianchi, who competed in Formula One as a driver for the Marussia F1 Team, was born on August 3, 1989, and died on July 17, 2015. In addition to being a member of the Ferrari Driver Academy, Bianchi had raced in Formula Renault 3.5, GP2, and Formula 3 in the past. 2012, he joined Sahara Force India's Formula 1 team as a practice driver. When he drove for Marussia for the first time in 2013, he finished 15th in the Australian race and finished the season in 19th place without earning any points. 13th place at the Malaysian Grand Prix was his best finish that year. He would be the club's driver for the upcoming season, the team announced in October 2013. At the Monaco Grand Prix in 2014, he recorded the first points for both the Marussia team and himself in Formula One. In extremely wet conditions on October 5, 2014, at the Japanese Grand Prix, Bianchi lost control of his Marussia and collided with a rescue van, resulting in diffuse axonal damage. Following emergency surgery, he was put into an induced coma where he remained unconscious until July 17, 2015, when he passed away. Following Ayrton Senna's tragic accident at the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix, Bianchi's death was the first to occur from an on-track collision in Formula One in more than 20 years. In addition, it is the most recent Formula One deadly accident as of 2023. Felipe and Christine Bianchi welcomed Jules into the world in Nice, France. In addition to being the current Ferrari driver Charles Leclerc's godfather, he had two siblings, a brother named Tom and a sister named Melanie. Michael Schumacher was his favorite racer. Bianchi's father owned a kart track, which made it easier for him to get his first taste of motorsport when he was just 3 years old. From 17, Nicolas Todd has been Bianchi's professional manager. Bianchi gave up karting in 2007 to compete in the French Formula Renault 2.0 with SG Formula, where he won 5 races and took first place. He recorded 1 fastest lap and 1 pole position in his 3 races as a competitor in the Formula Renault Euro Cup. Bianchi secured a Formula 3 Euro Series contract with RT Grand Prix towards the end of 2007. In addition to finishing 3rd in the 2008 Formula 3 Euro Series, Bianchi took home the 2008 Masters of Formula 3 title at Zolder. 2009 saw Bianchi remain in the F3 Euro Series, heading the RT lineup alongside rookies Valtteri Bottas, Esteban Gutierrez, and Adrien Tambay. At Dijon-Prenois, Bianchi completed his 8 victories and won the championship with 1 round remaining. Then, at the Hockenheim final round, he added a 9th victory. After SG Formula bought the cars that Kurt Mullekens had previously driven, he also competed in Monaco's Formula Renault 3.5 series. In the 2010 GP2 season and the one that followed, Bianchi drove for RT. He took part in 3 of the 4 GP2 Asia Championship events. Before suffering injuries in a first-lap collision at the Hungaroring, Bianchi claimed 2 pole positions and several points positions in the main series. He was officially announced by Ferrari on November 11, 2010, as the team's test and reserve driver for the 2011 season, taking the place of Luca Badoer, Giancarlo Fisichella, and Marc Genet. During his academy days, Bianchi and fellow Academy member and Sauber F1 driver Sergio Perez tested for Ferrari at Fiorano on September 13, 2011. With a timing of 1:213 over his 70 circuits, Bianchi had the fastest lap. He drove in 9 Friday free practice sessions for Sahara Force India during the 2012 season, while serving as the team's test and reserve driver, thanks to a loan from Ferrari. Following Luis Razzia's contract termination owing to sponsorship concerns, Marussia confirmed on March 1, 2013, that Bianchi would take over as race driver. With his 19th place qualifying finish, Bianchi beat teammate Max Chilton by a quarter of a second to get into the Australian Grand Prix. On the opening lap, Bianchi passed Daniel Ricciardo and Pastor Maldonado, ultimately finishing 15th on his debut. In Malaysia, he was 0.3 seconds off Q2 and ranked 19th on the grid once more. Initially trailing the Caterhams in the race, Bianchi gained ground during the pit stops and eventually finished 13th, ahead of both Caterhams and his teammate. As to the Hungarian Grand Prix, Bianchi had prevailed over his colleague in every practice run and every race in which they had participated. He and Caterham's Charles Pic received 10-place grid penalties for their 3 season-long reprimands in the Japanese Grand Prix. Additionally, his race terminated prematurely due to a collision with Guido van der Garde. Marussia announced in October 2013 that Bianchi would remain with the squad for the upcoming campaign. Bianchi retired 5 times, with 3 of those retirements due to mechanical issues, compared to Chilton's 2. In the days leading up to his tragic tragedy, Bianchi said he was ready to replace Fernando Alonso in the Scuderia Ferrari race seat should the team require his services. With Typhoon Fanfone threatening, there was significant rain on October 5, 2014, making it an evening event for the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix. Turn 7, or the Dunlop curve, is where Bianchi lost control of his vehicle on lap 43 of the race and swerved right toward the runoff area of the Suzuka circuit. Adrian Sutil had spun out of control and wrecked in the same spot the previous lap, and now he brought his heavy machinery into contact with the back of a wheel loader that was tending to the removal of Sutil's Sauber. As Bianchi approached the double-waved yellow flags, he did not slow down enough to keep from losing control. The Marussia car owned by Bianchi sustained significant damage to its left side and lost its roll bar when it slipped beneath the wheel loader, as seen in photos and video taken by onlookers during the collision. Sutil's Sauber, which was suspended in midair by the crane, fell back to the ground as a result of the wheel loader being partially startled off the ground by the impact. Following the race's stop, Lewis Hamilton was pronounced the victor. Bianchi was not reacting to marshals or a team radio transmission, and it was reported that he was unconscious. After receiving care at the scene of the collision, he was transported by ambulance to the medical center on the circuit. Max Chilton drove the lone vehicle that Marussia entered in the first Russian Grand Prix, held 1 week after the tragedy. Initially, Alexander Rossi was registered in place of the hospitalized Bianchi. Before the next race, the drivers observed a minute of silence in Bianchi's honor. Lewis Hamilton, the race winner, sent Bianchi a special thanks for winning. The day following the Japanese Grand Prix, Luca Di Montezemolo, the then outgoing president of Ferrari, revealed to the media that Bianchi was expected to join the ranks of the company's 3rd driver in 2015, should the championship shift to 3 vehicle teams, as was rumored at the time. Graham Loudon, the CEO of Marussia, stated after the Russian Grand Prix that the team would run 2 cars for the rest of the season. However, the team went into administration before the United States Grand Prix. The team's financier, Andrei Cheglakov, subsequently disclosed that Bianchi's collision had a significant role in the Russians' choice to discontinue funding the team and leave Formula One. John Booth, the team principal of the recently formed Marussia F1 Team, paid appreciation to Bianchi's point performance in the 2014 Monaco Grand Prix after the team's ability to stay in Formula One thanks to the prize money received after the race in March 2015. Furthermore, Marussia continued to support Bianchi during the Monaco Grand Prix by wearing unique red wristbands with the words Monaco 2014 P8 JB17 on them. The FIA launched an investigation into Bianchi's accident and took into account suitable modifications to safety protocols, such as the ones at the Brazilian Grand Prix, where a tractor crane servicing the Senna S chicane was moved. It was also revealed that Bianchi's condition was unaffected, and that the ambulance ride to the hospital took only 37 minutes longer than it did for the helicopter. According to reports, the FIA sent emails to all teams the next week requesting that they hold on to any material on Bianchi's accident in Suzuka. This information would be used only by an accident panel that the FIA had set up to look into Bianchi's accident. Bianchi passed away on July 17, 2015, at the age of 25, due to injuries he had 9 months prior in Suzuka. With his passing, he became the first driver in Formula One history to die from wounds received during a Grand Prix following Ayrton Senna in 1994. Bianchi's family released an official statement saying, "Jules Bianchi passed away last night at the Centre Hospitalier Universitaire in Nice. It is with deep sadness that the parents of Jules Bianchi, Philippe and Christine, his brother Tom and sister Melanie, wish to make this known. As he usually has, Jules battled to the very end, but yesterday it was over. We are in excruciating, terrible anguish." On July 21, 2015, a funeral service was performed in the Nice Cathedral. After that, he was burned, and some of his ashes drifted into the Mediterranean Sea and are resting in the Monte Carlo Cemetery. Alexander Wurz, Esteban Gutierrez, Alan McNish, Alexander Rossi, Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Nico Rosberg, Jenson Button, Sebastian Vettel, Jean-Éric Vergne, Marcus Ericsson, Adrian Sutil, Valtteri Bottas, Pastor Maldonado, Pedro de la Rosa, Romain Grosjean, Daniel Ricciardo, Felipe Massa, Alain Prost, Nico Hülkenberg, Olivier Panis, Daniil Kvyat, and Max Chilton were among the numerous ex and current drivers that attended Bianchi's funeral. It was revealed in May 2016 that Bianchi's family intended to file a lawsuit against the Formula One group, the FIA, and Bianchi's Marussia team. François Hollande, the president of France, Bernie Ecclestone, and other prominent figures in sports followed with widespread condolences. In addition, Bianchi was called a magnificent human being and a shining talent in a statement posted by the Manor Marussia team on Facebook. The Grand Prix Drivers Association said that to never relent in improving safety was its obligation. As a gesture of respect, race number 17 will no longer be available for Formula One drivers, according to FIA President Jean Tot's announcement. Prince Albert of Monaco, the home of the charity, is one of the backers. Part of an album by the same name, GrandPrix, is a song written by French musician Benjamin Biolay that describes Bianchi's accident and demise. The song was named Best Album at the 2021 Victoires de la Musique. The tale of Jules Bianchi serves as a sobering reminder of the dangers associated with chasing speed. Remember to subscribe for more captivating stories from the world of motorsport as we consider his legacy. Press the subscribe button to receive the most recent updates and thought-provoking stories. We appreciate you coming along on this journey through F1 driver Jules Bianchi's life and terrible ending.